Your previous video game experience is stopping you from being as good at DDO as you can be.
What do you mean bad?
What's crazy is there are tons of resources online to help you play DDO and become a better player, but they don't go over the number one thing that you should know, that you need to know.
That's why they pay me.
Now, you may think you've played video games before, and Dungeons and Dragons pen and paper, and you know what you're doing. I mean, how different can building a character in DDO be than building a character in pen and paper, right? And this is what most people tragically get wrong, because DDO is not like any other video game or like Dungeons and Dragons pen and paper. DDO is a completely different game. If you come to DDO from another MMO like World of Warcraft, Star Wars, The Old Republic, Elder Scrolls Online, Guild Wars 2, Lord of the Rings Online, then you're going to be playing DDO completely wrong.
Good guess, but wrong.
That's because DDO is not like any other MMO. This fact is one of the things that makes DDO a unique, fun, and one of the best MMOs on the market. But this fact also hurts 95% of the new players to DDO because they try to play it like every other MMO.
You understand what I'm saying?
In this video, we're going to go over the most important thing you need to know to play DDO, not only well, but to be epic at it. Doing so will allow you to get really good at making decisions about what you do in the game and take your gameplay to an entirely new level.
With that in mind,
It's true that all of your decisions, beginning, middle, and end game, class, race, what you buy in the store, what you don't buy in the store, all those choices matter.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you.
And they matter a lot, but not for the reasons that you think. To get better at DDO, you need to stop playing. No, seriously, you need to stop playing temporarily and go outside. Take a walk, go out in the sun, be around some trees. Just take a break. The science of this is very clear that if you stop looking at a computer screen and go outside and see sunlight, it will vastly improve your mood and make you feel better. This will elevate your thinking, your mood, and your enjoyment for when you go back and play video games later. Once you've taken your walk, you're ready to go back and start playing. The next thing you need to do is focus on what you like to play. What's your favorite? What's your favorite class and race in Dungeons and Dragons? What do you normally like to play? If you were going to go to a pen and paper game, what would you want to make? You may say, what I like is irrelevant. I just want to know what the current meta is. Just tell me what the best class and races are, and I'll play those so I can win.
I'll think about it.
Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not the way it's going to happen in DDO. Yes, that's true in other games. Diablo, WoW, they all have the meta. Even DDO has a meta, but what you're going to find is that in the hands of a good player, any character is good. What we want you to do is to get the maximum out of what you do.
Do you want to dance, or do you want to open your present?
The problem with the meta is that the meta is constantly changing. We don't want to chase the meta. What we want to do is get epic. We want to be epic players. What's good today won't be good tomorrow. So I'm going to tell you one of the biggest secrets about DDO. Any class and race combo are good. The meta doesn't matter. Now, yes, it certainly helps. But if you can grasp the core of what I'm going to teach you in this video, then you will be epic no matter what class you play, no matter what race you play. Knowing what I'm going to teach you will free you up from chasing these meta builds just to be good and allow you to play what you love. All this will allow you to focus on what will actually make you epic. You will learn how to play any character or any race good because you will be good. So what is your favorite race and class? What do you like to play the most? Make that. Understanding DDO, the biggest secret is understanding the reincarnation system in this game.
It is great.
All of the systems, the way that the game is structured, the way the characters progress, everything is based around this reincarnation system that exists in DDO, and it's unique to DDO. In DDO, you can play to end game and then reincarnate yourself back on the same character down to level 1 and then start again, keeping some of the power that you earned in the first life on into your second life, and you keep that power in the form of a feat. The feat that you earn is permanent. It becomes a past life feat. And these past life feats stack with each other, and you can gather many, many of them. There are hundreds of them. These past life feats add up. They add up and they make your character much more powerful. In Dungeons & Dragons Online, there are 5 types of reincarnation. Lesser, heroic reincarnation, racial reincarnation, epic reincarnation, and iconic reincarnation. Each type of reincarnation has its own benefits. Each type of reincarnation has its own specific currency that you have to spend in order to initiate that reincarnation. An example of this is a heroic true heart of wood or a heroic true heart of blood. Most of the currencies can be earned in-game by questing. All of them can be purchased on the DDO store for DDO points. On the screen is an image that will show you the different types of reincarnation and when you can access them. You may do a lesser reincarnation at any time. You will need a lesser heart of wood. This will allow you to respec your character, changing various aspects of the decisions that you made, how you allotted your abilities. There are also lesser reincarnation hearts that have a 1 or a 3 or a 5 or a 20 next to them. And what those allow you to do is to reincarnate yourself, to respec yourself, class change based on the number next to the heart. If you wanted to multi-class and you use a lesser heart of wood with a 1 next to it, that would allow you to multi-class 1 level of some other class. You're allowed to use, you may not ever have at one time more than 3 classes. So that's something very important to keep in mind. At level 20, you can do a heroic reincarnation that will take you back down to level 1. It will wipe all of your experience and all of your favor, and then you get to pick to start as a brand new character. You can select any class and any race. You will keep the same name, and it allows you to start again at level 1. At level 20, you can also select a racial reincarnation, which will allow you to select what race you are, and you will be given a feat, a racial past life feat. From 20 to 30, you can do an epic reincarnation. You are allowed at level 30 to epic reincarnate and then heroic reincarnate. So you can do 2 in a row. Understanding reincarnation is key because it allows you to plan what powers you're going to go after when you reincarnate.
Pretty cool moves for someone who'd never played before.
Stop for a moment and think about what kind of a player you are. We need to know what kind of a player you are in regards to how you want to spend your time in DDO. Are you the type of a person who wants to play casually and maybe try out all the different classes? Then what you're probably going to want to do is just make a bunch of alts and just play the alts based on whatever the flavor of the day is. If you decide to reincarnate, you must be ready for the time investment. Every time you reincarnate, you must re-level yourself up. You're reset when you do a full reincarnation back to level 1. Everything is wiped out, all your experience, all your favor. The only thing that you keep are your past life feats. And then you get whatever skills and abilities you get from your new class and race.
You know there was a murder here, right?
It takes a lot of planning and it's expensive. The mats, in order to reincarnate, cost resources. You must earn them in-game or buy them off the DDO store. So it's a much more involved gameplay style than going after the alt route. And this is really, really important. And this will allow you to become an epic player, deciding whether or not you are going to jump on the TR train. Are you going to reincarnate that character? Are you going to have one main character that you reincarnate? Or will you do multiple characters that you reincarnate? Or will you never reincarnate and just make a bunch of alts?
Julie Andrews.
All of those decisions are viable, but you need to know what to do in order to help focus you. Otherwise, your time in DDO can be very frustrating. This is really important because it will allow you to be very specific and set long-term goals for what you want to accomplish in DDO. DDO is an open game. You can do whatever you want. There is really no main quest line. You basically just go and do whatever. And so knowing what you want to do with your class, if you're going to reincarnate, if you're going to just make a bunch of alts, this is extremely important. It will help you become a great player. Something else to keep in mind, you do not need to reincarnate to have a powerful character. You also accumulate Reaper points if you play Reaper quests, and the Reaper points are permanent, and you will accumulate them. But in addition to past life feats, Reaper points will make your character even stronger. So if you want to make the strongest character, I highly recommend that you learn about reincarnation and you come up with a plan for what past lives you want. What makes more sense to you, to have 10 alts or to have 10 past lives?
You know there was a murder here, right?
Ask yourself that. What is it that you want? All the best players in DDO know this. They do this. They have a plan. So what's your plan? If you decide to do the reincarnation, what you want to do is think about what class and race you want to wind up at the end. What will be sort of your main build? Let's say, for example, you wanted to be an elf, wizard, necromancer. That's what you want to wind up at the end. Well, then what you need to do is gather all of the past lives that would help you as an elf, undead necromancer. All of the caster past lives. All of the racial past lives that boost intelligence and constitution. All of the past lives, the iconic past lives that give you spell power. All of the past lives that would make you a better necromancer. If you do this, you will be ahead of 95% of the players who just log into DDO casually and try to play it like they played WoW. Now that you have a goal, you are ready to take your game to the next level. How do you discover what these are? You check out my next video to learn even more